Hey, what's up guys, Second Trip over here, back again with another Modern Minecraft tutorial. Oh yes, so today's topic, we're going to be going over the basics of the Essentia piping system from Thaumcraft, as requested by JeffJaymes on YouTube. So the Essentia piping is kind of one of the more complex, it's one of the more complex things in Thaumcraft, because like no one knows how it works. So Basically, today I'm going to be going over the basics of how to work one of these systems. So the main purpose of Essentia tubes is to transport Essentia from one area to another via the use of the tubes, basically. So basically, first let's put a simple block in here, say stone. Maybe like a stack of it. Nah, like 16. So as the Terra is being produced, it is being filtered into this jar. So the basic way this works is that Essentia tubes can only transmit one type of Essentia at a time. It can't transmit more, and here's something you might want to take a note of really quickly. If there's gas venting, then two different kinds of suction are interfering with each other. For that purpose, you're going to need an Essentia valve. So you can use the Essentia valve and turn it off. So that way the Essentia won't be interfering with it anymore. See, the Essentia valve basically turns off all the pipes or tubes that are past it. So you might have heard me mention suction. So if we take this thing called an Essentia resonator, which you can make in an arcane work table with 4 iron, 1 nether quartz, and 1 stick with 5 aqua and 5 air, you can right click on arcane alembics to determine their suction. And Essentia tubes, this will tell you how much suction it has and what type of suction it has. So basically, if I right click this water jar here, it contains 32 Terra Essentia, and its suction is 32 Terra. So the highest suction that a Essentia pipe system can have is 32, and the minimum is 1. So basically, okay. It should get some more stone. Just want to test this a bit more. Here we go. So basically, if this valve is on, the suction is going to be interfering, and it'll pipe stuff slower. So basically, you want to have valves in your system for that rainy day case when there's multiple kinds of suction going on, and you need to get stuff to the jar as fast as possible. Say like your infusion is running low, and some of your items got knocked off the infusion altar, and things might start getting destroyed soon. You obviously want these valves to make sure the Essentia goes to the right place as soon as possible. Of course, this can all be done with the alchemy core from the alchemy core on a golem for Thaumcraft as well. So, oh well. So, the Essentia valve, like I said, is to seal off all tubes past it. But let's go over some more. The filtered Essentia tube is fairly special. So the filtered Essentia tube is basically a regular Essentia tube, but you can filter it like you can a jar. You just have to put a label with the type of Essentia that you want on it. And then there is the directional Essentia tube, which will only transport Essentia in the direction that the blue lines are facing. So basically, you can use this as like a iron pipe from Buildcraft, for example. If anyone remembers the iron pipes, they're still in the game. It's just they're still in the game. It's just no one uses them anymore. Just saying. And then there's the restricted Essentia tubes. I need to refresh my memory on how these work. The restricted Essentia tube will basically have the suction for this will basically have the suction that a normal tube has. So basically, if I take this, put it on here, and then I take my Essentia resonator, this has 15, and this has 31. So basically this halves the suction. So basically this would be like a lower priority, higher suction, higher priority. That's kind of the way it works. Okay, so if we take a look at the recipes for the Essentia tubes, you'll see the requires. So the base Essentia tube is required for all the other Essentia tubes. So don't forget this. So you get 8 Essentia tubes per 1 Quicksilver drop, 2 iron ingots, 1 glass and 1 gold nugget, and 5 aqua and 5 ordo in an arcane work table. The Essentia valve is made shapeless with an Essentia tube and a lever with 5 aqua and 5 ordo. The filtered Essentia tube is made shapeless with an Essentia tube and a V filter, 16 ordo and 5 aqua. V filter is made with 2 gold ingots and and 1 silverwood plank, and it makes 2 of them. There is a different recipe if you're playing with Ex Nihilo. It requires like silk mesh instead of silverwood, because silverwood's like almost impossible to get in skyblock maps. So anyway, the directional Essentia tube, and to get it, it's a shapeless recipe with 1 Essentia tube and 1 blue dye from any mod, be it lapis, blue color honey drops, blue of deviating lilies, blue dye from Natura, blue dye from extra biomes, whatever. As long as it's blue dye, it can be used. With 8 ordo, 8 perdicio, and 8 aqua. And then the restricted Essentia tube, you're going to need 1 stone of any kind and 1 Essentia tube shapeless with 16 terra and 5 aqua. Alrighty, so knowing how an Essentia tube system works is crucial to making sure your jars are filled. If you don't want to manually right click the arcane alembics to take out all the V or all the Essentia. That's not exactly the best way to do it, because that's like manual labor. And let's face it, modded Minecraft is all about automating the crap out of everything. So basically, these tubes will automate moving Essentia from to jars. Note that the golem, a golem with the alchemy core can do that as well. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that'll do it for this brief look at the Essentia tube system from Thaumcraft. Thank you to JeffJaymes for suggesting this tutorial topic in the comments section. I do read the comments, so if you want to suggest a topic for a future Modern Minecraft tutorial, feel free to leave a comment, tweet it at me, or message it to me on Google+. Don't mention me on Twitter or on Google+, or you might not see it. So that'll be it for this tutorial. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.